deep in the heart of Texas.
We're in the business of winning.
Don't bet against me.
I don't bet anyway.
Lose your life.
Staying in the Pac-12 here. Shame this conference is done. I've taken UCLA plus 3.5 at Oregon State. I'm just going to rattle off a bunch of defensive stats here that I've just discovered from UCLA today. So their last two games, they lost 14-7 to then number 11 Utah, and then they won 25-17 against number 13 Washington State. They only allowed 12.2 points a game. That's good for 8th in the country. They haven't allowed more than 17 in their last 5, and they're holding opponents to under 65 yards rushing a game. These all seem like crazy numbers for a Chip Kelly team. So I think the offense is going to be there with Chip Kelly, the high tempo. So you give them a defense, it's probably a pretty good team, and you're going to give me 3.5 points in what, for all purposes, looks like it should be a close game. And UCLA also has a couple defenders with 4.5, four or more sacks. I just think, their rush defense that's the strength of Oregon State. I think you take that away. DJ Ugalele, or however you say his name, is not, not the guy you want to put. You don't want to put a team on his back through the air. So I'll take the points, UCLA plus 3.5, and I'll take that for 2.
Yeah, so what's really interesting about these teams is they have 3 teams that they've each played: San Diego State, Washington State, and Utah. So I guess if we're going to try and draw a comparison here, I kind of like Oregon State. They kind of both beat San Diego State around the same ballpark. UCLA lost to Utah by 7. Oregon State beat Utah by 14. Of course, Washington State, UCLA won by 8 there, while Oregon lost to Washington State by 3. So, I mean, if I just had to kind of look at it and gauge it, I don't know much about these teams, I won't lie. Like, I'm not an expert on the Pac-12 here. But I probably will go ahead and go Oregon State at home, minus 3.5 against UCLA. I'll probably put 1 on it.
Yeah, what you just said is what I had down. They played, similar, kind of a similar schedule. UCLA beat Washington State by 8. They actually are almost identical when it comes to offense. UCLA averages 459 yards a game. That's 258 throwing, 200 on the ground. The Beavers, it's 250 through the air, 205 on the ground. That's almost identical. But UCLA is a much better defensive team, like Ian rattled off. And I don't know. I lean towards UCLA because, they have their defense. It's not even close. It's so much better than Oregon State's. So I'm going to take UCLA for 2.